Hello, this is Richard with Rich Made Knives. Got another customization video to share with you this afternoon. Today this video is a little bit different. Instead of a knife, which is what I usually show off my customizations, this is a hate pig. So this pig is a hate pig that I picked up at the USN Gathering G7 in August or September. I can't remember exactly when it was. It was a late August, I think, in Las Vegas 2015. And this is an ATI 6 ballistic pig that I picked up, that I customized. So I wanted to show you guys off a photo first of what this looked like when I started. So this is what the pig looked like when I got it. It was kind of a bead blasted, sand blasted finish. Also picked up this leather case, Greg Stevens custom leather case for the pig when I picked it up at G7. So that's what it looked like when I started. Pretty plain, just a matte finish silver. And as soon as I got it, I knew that one of my goals was going to be to customize this pig. I knew it had some titanium in it because it's a ballistic pig. It's the material used in bulletproof vests, but wasn't sure how much it would anodize. It anodizes really well. So for any of you who follow me on either Instagram or Facebook, you'll know that I've done quite a bit of work to this pig. I started out just doing some rainbow ano on it. Then I did some carvings along the edges. And then this past weekend is where I went and did this final. I don't plan on doing any more changes to it. This is the final version. I did a whole bunch of carving on this yesterday, and created a very unique, what I think is a very unique looking pig with a lot of texture. It's a carved pig, is what I'm calling him. So the way that I did this is I used a belt sander, and I used the edge of the belt. So I took the pig and I pressed it into the edge of my belt sander to get some of these grooves in here. And then I also used a grinding wheel, and same thing, I pressed it into the edge of the grinding wheel, and then also did that to get some of these what should kind of look like file work there. Looks like kind of like a rope pattern along the edge that goes all the way around. You'll notice there's notches in there. I did that all the way around. Didn't do it up here to preserve the bottle opening capability, so that's still functional and left intact. I rounded the nose on the pig a little bit. But yeah, some pretty neat file work along the edges. And then carvings at an angle this direction across the body. I did some really deep one. You can see there's a really deep one right there along the back. Some not so deep, some a little deeper. Tried to make it as random as I could. I took some pictures, but it's hard to show off the carving in photos, so that's why I wanted to do this video. I know there's a lot of folks on the Hate Project on Facebook who are interested in this, so I wanted to do a video to show you guys a little bit more detail on how this came out. So after all the carving was done on the grinding wheel and on the sander, you could imagine it was very rough. If you ran your finger against this, it had a lot of hot spots and ridges. So what I did then is I put it onto my my 3M Scotch-Brite wheel. And then just really worked it all the way around and all the way on the flats on the Scotch-Brite wheel. And what that does is it takes off all of the hot spots, it takes off any rough ridges, and it gets it nice and smooth. So if I'm running my finger across this right now, it's, you know, you can feel all of the little ridges, but they're nice and smooth. It kind of feels like a worry stone is the best way I can describe it. And then how did I get this color? Well, what I did is, since this is titanium, I can anodize this electrically. So this is a 24 volt blue. So, let me back up a step and say that After I put it on the Scotch-Brite wheel and got it all kind of smoothed out the way I wanted it, I then polished this to a high gloss. And the way that I did that is I used my buffing wheel with some buffing compound and just, brute force pressing it onto the buffing wheel, compound, more pressing, more compound, more buffing. This is about, I would say, probably to do the entire pig, front, back, and all the edges was about 2 hours of buff time. And when I was finished with all the buffing, you could kind of see yourself in it. It was so shiny. Then I did a electroanodization at 24 volts blue. So I dipped it into the anode tank, 24 volts, came out of the anode tank completely blue. And then what I did is I put it back on the buffing wheel. Well, for those who know how anodization works, electroano, that blue that you get is actually a layer of crystals on top of the titanium. So when you put it on the buffing wheel, if you use a really light touch, when the buffing compound and the buffing wheel touches the blue, it just removes a very thin layer of the crystal, and you get the colors underneath blue, or in a lower voltage of blue, which are bronze, copper, and a little bit of silver if you take most of it off. So this is all hand buffed, removing blue in different spots and in different places by hand on the buffing wheel. And you can even see I did a couple on the edge there, where I removed some of the blue from the edges along the body here. And my goal was to create this multicolor pattern here, what's really nice about this is when you have this multicolor pattern is it hides the fingerprints, and it looks pretty neat when, as you guys know, when you add finger oil to ano, you get a little bit of a darker color shift. And so I think it makes it look really neat. So that is a customized 8-pig. If anyone has a pig or any other titanium work that they would like to have done or any knife customizations, let me know. My books are open. You can reach me via email at richard@richmadeknives.com. Thank you.